Today we're going to be showcasing Nameku or Namek Goku. It's going to be a 50 card deck. What's about this deck is that you do have to self-awaken. When self-awaken at 3, it goes to where you're recycling your life. Like when you're at 2, it's always going to be recycled to 3. But the most important thing is the most important thing about this deck is the hand power, because you need to get a lot of cards. The highest I've ever seen is 15. It could be 17, but most of the time I would just see it between 11 to 15. I mean, that's the range that I'm seeing. But the way it works is that when you do self-awaken, you just have to use Murray. Hopefully I said it correctly. Murray to help you self-awaken, because it's a mandatory add a card from your life. So you get one card from life to hand, so you get that option. Other options are using Roshi to pop a 1 cost by taking a life. Then if you do take a life, you are able to KO a 1-drop. So pretty good to clear the board. Most importantly, with Roshi, I mean, as sad as running 2 is, Roshi can help you go against a Majin Buu deck, because this deck has a history. It has a threat against Buu, because Buu likes to pop their own cards, make you have a hand reduction down to 6, and the thing about that deck is that they are not gonna let you self-awaken that easily. So you have to find ways to you do have to find ways to make your Nameku deck self-awaken fast when going against that deck. But I mean the only thing you can do is, with going against a Buu deck, we'll be happy to use the Gohans, future Gohans, and the full power. The reason why you would do that is that with full power, it takes out much of the threat that the Majin Buu board presents. Only if you're at 2, but that's going to be the problem to this deck, because the Majin Buu deck, they know when not to self-awaken a Nameku, so it's a little bit hard to play this. It's hard to commit to it. But if there's ever a chance to where you are able to challenge against a Majin Buu deck, it will be, for the best, it will be with Gohan or future Gohan. It just depends on the situation. It depends on how much energy you have. Most of the time when at turn 3, that's where the biggest problem is, because what the opponent will do is, at turn 3, no matter which turn it is, it could be extra energy marker or just completely turn 3, they will play the Babidi to the Gohan. Gohan will pop the Babidi, and then you will lose 2 cards, which will limit this deck even further. And the worst part, or the weakness to this deck when going up against a Majin Buu like that, they'll just decide not to attack, which is pretty wise, because when they do attack, they're just giving the cards that were just lost, and making it easier for the Nameku to awaken. So they want to slow down the Nameku as much as possible. The only way they will slow it down is to make sure the hand size is low enough. What they would love to see against the Nameku hand size is 8 or 7 to 8 cards on hand, and that's if you're starting at turn 3 when you're not making much plays. And when that happens, they will just pop until you just stay around 6, like probably 5 to 6 cards on hand, which really limits the Nameku even further. It will force the Nameku to find a way to pop the 3-drop Buhan, because if you keep the Buhan on board, it's gonna get much worse with this deck, and it's gonna be to where you're gonna have more bricks, you're gonna have dead hand. That's what the Buhan wants, and of course, that's me explaining about how the weakness to the deck can happen. But aside to any other further weaknesses, the deck, the purpose or the most part, like the most important thing about this deck is to keep yourself up between 2 to 3 lives, so that the effects can trigger and go from there. Some of the times the opponent will attack your leader, put you to 2. Other times they'll just leave it alone. They just want to see if you put any other battle cards that just attack or are in rest mode. They'll just attack that instead of the leader. So that will put you to where you do have to take a life to make Goku at 2, so that you can use the effects like drawing cards for like Dr. Brief's spaceship, the spaceship to draw 2 cards, full power to pop cards that are more threatening to the deck, and then of course doing crits. That is if you want to put more pressure to whoever you're going to play against. I would say for the most part, probably hold on to at least one. Try to see if you can bait it out, because I would just bait it out with using the leader, make the leader 50k crit, or you can use the double strike Goku when you're at 2. Play him at 3, then play this. It becomes a 65 double strike crit, and that will force the opponent or the player to even combo more cards from their hand. And the more that you see that, the more likelihood that their top cards are gonna be like, their winning strategy is gonna be harder to play against this deck. But I mean, there could be a lot of surprises. Who knows? That every deck, like every gameplay, is all about unpredictability. So you do have to play it as unpredictable as possible. Play a little bit different if you can, because they will just see the most obvious strategy. Like they know better to not KO the Krillins. They will probably do it later in the game, which I take advantage of that too when I do mirror matches, where if they're at the point where they're already awakened and they have a lot of cards on hand, and of course energy, I think their energy is about 4 or 5. It gets to the point where you don't really need to worry about KOing them when they're at the middle or end of the game, because when you're in the middle or end of the game, they want to keep the energy at 7, and even if they want to just go ahead and ramp, that will also allow you to see that they're losing cards from their hand to the energy. But of course, it just depends on what cards they want to don't want to use on hand. So there's that. Krillins, I mean, they're good. They're good enough to become pressure, because nobody wants to KO the card. The only situation with Krillin is the weakness is minus with going against a red deck or a blue deck to return it to hand or bottom deck it. So that's going to be the only threat to Krillin. It's red decks and blue decks, but of course, yellow decks, they'll not pop it, but they'll just make sure that it will stay rested, or make sure it's not gonna attack. They're just gonna prevent it from attacking. Even black decks will do it as well. So when you play a Krillin deck card, They're only good against black decks, green decks, or yellow decks, depending on the situation with yellow. Yellow is more like 50-50 on that one. But of course, aside to that, Nappa, I mean, always a good to self-awaken as well as ripping a card from life to energy. Gohans are the ace card of this deck. Of course, they help, like, depending if you want to pop a 3 cost or less by taking life, or if you're at 2, pop any card, like any battle card that you like. Really good when you're going against any big threats, like a 6-drop Master Ultra Instinct Goku, or anything that could like push you to a losing game. Gohan is more of a game changer in a way. Free drop Gokus, it gets to the point where I do play it, but then there are times where it just feels like that they're more better off in the middle or late game. It got to where like I tried, like I was thinking about playing it in the beginning of the game, but there were times where I wanted to ramp up with Nappa. Nappa was on hand, and then so is Goku. But if there's a case where Nappa's in the deck or it's stuck in live, and Goku's the only 3-drop to play on turn 3, then I will play Goku on turn 3. And then Gohan to protect your 3-drops. And then you got that and that. Of course, that's pretty much all I have to say about the deck profile here. Of course, as you notice, I did not add the 3-drop Goku 20k with 10k combo. I do feel like that, I think I did play, like I played a similar deck of this and decided to add it. I was at 55, but I think that there were changes to this deck as well. But yeah, I would say that would pretty be good in any other way, in case if you're about to deck out, then that will be probably the opponent's strategy to deck you out. But in cases with a green deck, it's very, very rare for a green deck to deck out, unless if you go back to Series 1 with Broly or Gohan. But yeah, I hope that everybody, you know, enjoyed watching the deck profile. Hope that everybody's doing well, and if you like what you're seeing, you know, don't forget to leave a like or subscribe. If you have any other party deck lists that you're thinking of that you want me to try out, feel free to. I'm actually open for some ideas, open for some experience. If you want to, you know, send me some of your match codes, I can check that out too and go from there.
やるっきゃねえみてえだな。ほらワクワクしてきたぞ。体持ってくれ。いい戦いにしような。 気に行くぞ。じゃねえみてえだな。
強さこそ正義。
体持ってくれよ。
どこからでもかかってこい。覚悟はいいか。食らえ。 ことを覚悟はいいか。無駄なことを覚悟はいいか。無駄なことを無駄なことを覚悟はいいか。食らえ。無駄なことを覚悟はいいか。食らえ。正義の名のもとに。無駄なことを覚悟はいいか。食らえ。正義の名のもとに。覚悟はいいか。食らえ。無駄なことを
持ってくれよ。